Now, guys, we started talking about, obviously, the characters for Honkai Star Rail. And I'm very, very excited for the game because I feel as though there's so much to this game that people don't understand. I love turn-based RPGs. I love looking at characters' abilities when it comes to that because I think it takes a lot more strategy to work a turn-based team than it would for, let's say, Genshin Impact, where you're just switching your characters, going for as many elemental reactions as you possibly can. But that I'm not here for the soapbox. I'm not here for that. But what I am here for is another character discussion. Now, originally, if you have been following for a while, you might have seen a release date video that I did where I based the release date off of this character because it makes the most sense. And to me, it made the most sense when it comes to this. So this will probably be releasing the day after March 7th, but we're going to be talking about March 7th. So let's go ahead and dive into it. But before we do that, please make sure to hit that like and subscribe button down below. Don't forget to hit the notification bell to be notified of when the next Honkai Star Rail video comes out. And of course, leave a comment. Would like to hear you guys' opinions on this, but without any further delay, let's go ahead and get right into it. March 7th is a ice type preservation path. Now, we were talking about the paths before, and this is exactly what the preservation path is, so let's go ahead and talk about it. Characters from this path have a powerful defensive capabilities. They can protect allies in many ways. That is the description. Not saying that that's what it actually, like, that's how we go about it, but that's what it is. But in my opinion, when I was playing this game, as cute, in my opinion, as March 7th is, I found her rather lacking. So hopefully when the game releases, she's going to have a little bit of a boost. But let's go ahead and talk about it. March 7th skills here. Frigid Cold Arrow deals ice damage equal to 50, 100, and 110% of March 7th's attack to a single enemy. She does use a bow. But again, this isn't like Genshin Impact where bows are you aim and shoot. It's literally just turn-based. The power of cuteness provides a single ally with a shield that can absorb damage equal to 48, 80, and 86% of March 7th's defense, plus 160, 320, and 344 for 3 turns if the ally's HP is 30% of their max HP or higher, greatly increases the chance of enemies attacking that ally. Now, this is good in the sense of like making sure that March 7th's defense is scaled properly. And as we talked about in the previous video when it came to the Fire Trailblazer, if you want to focus on your physical DPS with the Trailblazer, March 7th is a good ally for that because again, you're going to be focusing defense on March 7th. Now, let's talk about the ultimate here. Deals ice damage equal to 90, 150, and 162% of March 7th's attack to all enemies. This is an AoE attack that works decently well. On a hit, the enemy has a 50% base chance of being frozen for 1 turn. While frozen, the enemy can't act and will take ice damage over time equal to 30, 50, and 54% of March 7th's attack at the beginning of the turn. Now, this is why I had an issue with March 7th before, is because with the skill, you're focusing on defense, but on the ultimate, you're focusing on attack. She is a very split-scaled character just from these alone. Let's go ahead and see if they made any changes since when I did beta test 1. Girl power. After a shielded ally is attacked by an enemy, March 7th immediately counters, dealing ice damage equal to 50, 100, and 110% of her attack. This effect can be triggered 2 times each turn. Now, this is really cool because I did experience this a little bit. It's a little bit of extra damage. It's not a lot, but it is a little bit of extra something, you know, because I think overall it works really well. I didn't think that they would add a counter character right out the gate, but of course they added counter characters in Genshin. I believe they have semi counter characters in Honkai Impact 3rd, but I could be wrong. Freezing Beauty immediately attacks the enemy. After entering battle, there is a 100% base chance to freeze or a random enemy for 1 turn. While frozen, the enemy cannot move and will take ice damage equal to 50% of March 7th's attack at the beginning of the turn. Again, you're focusing on that split scaling, which doesn't entirely work well, at least from what I've seen in other games. So I could be wrong. It could be that we find out that it's actually really, really good, but I don't think that's the case. On the first trace, which is on Ascension 2. March 7th skill removes 1 debuff from the target. Awesome. And then, of course, on the 4th, Reinforce, the duration of the shield generated from her skill is extended for 1 turn, which is really, really good in that essence, because, again, that shield's going to take precedence, and you're going to be using the counter that you get through Girl Power. So, again, works really well. And then Ice Spell increases Ultimate's base chance to freeze enemies by 15%. So when you ascend all the way up to level, or to your Ascension 6, you get to 65% chance to freeze, which is really good in that regard. Now let's go ahead and talk about the Eidolons. As we've talked about before in the previous video, Eidolons 3 and 5 increase your talent skills, so you don't need to worry too much about those. Eidolon level 1 increases the number of times the talent's counter effect can be triggered each turn by 1. When counter is triggered, deals additional ice damage equal to 30% of March 7th's defense. So again, that's why the defense, I feel, is the bigger thing that you should focus on when it comes to March 7th, because I feel that scaling for the defense works a lot better for what you're doing with March 7th. Eidolon level 2, every time March 7th's ultimate freezes a target, she generates 10 energy. This is crucial because when you use your ultimate, you can gain 10 energy to start getting your ultimate back. So, excuse me. So Eidolon 2 might be the go-to if you're summoning for March 7th. She is a free-to-play character, so summoning 2 of her shouldn't be too much of an issue. Now, Eidolon level 4. Upon entering battle, grants a shield equal to 50% of March 7th's defense plus 200 to the ally with the lowest HP percentage, lasting 3 turns. Now, not only do you have the shield that you generate through your skill, you get another shield that you could give to your allies. That is big. I feel as though, like, and this is just early on because we're looking through these characters together, I feel as though that Honkai Star Rail has started to really focus on why you want to go for dupes. Now, just like this, always, the Eidolon level 6. Allies under the protection of the shield granted by the skill restore HP equal to 6% of their max HP plus 48 of the beginning of the turn. This is big, and the reason being is because, like, you could team her up with a tank, another tank maybe, that is based off of HP scaling, and boom, that tank is healed up almost like completely. I think it works really, really well. Now, as we talked about before, and this is recorded right after the Trailblazer, we talked about the preservation light cones, and I feel as though the same applies from before. Amber increases the wearer's defense by 16, 20, 24, 28, and 32%. If the wearer's current HP is less than 50% of their max HP, increases their defense by a further 16, 20, 24, 28, and 32. Now, granted, I feel as though you're not going to be worrying too much about... Like, I think you're going to worry about wanting to be over that 50% HP, so Amber might not work too well for March 7th, but I digress. It still works pretty well. Now, of course, day 1 in my new life increases the wearer's defense by 16, 18, 20, 22, and 24%. After entering the battle, increases damage resistance of all allies, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12%. This is good. I think this is one of the better ones because, again, you're not only helping yourself out with your defense, but you're giving damage resistance to all of your allies. So that's crucial. We talked about the moment of victory. I want to kind of talk about the texture of memories. Increases the wearer's effect resistance by 8, 10, 12, 14, and 16. If the wearer is attacked and has no shield, they gain a shield equal to 16, 20, 24, 28, 32% of their max HP for 2 turns. The effect can only be triggered once every 3 turns. If the wearer has a shield, when attacked, the damage received decreases by 12, 15, 18, 21, 24. This could be good, but I don't think it's going to be perfect for March 7th, so my apologies for bringing this one up. This Is Me is actually a good one, I think, in my opinion. Let me go ahead and move my camera real quick, or let me just hide my camera so you can kind of see what I'm talking about here. Now, increases the wearer's defense by 12, 16, 18, 21, and 24%. Increases the damage of the wearer when they use their ultimate by 50, 62.5, 75, 87.5, and 100% of the wearer's defense. This effect can only be applied 1 time per enemy character. Now, I feel that it's either going to be day 1 of a new life, Moment of Victory, which we've talked about before, increases the wearer's defense by 24, 30, 36, 42, and 48%, and effect rate by 20, 25, 30, 35, and 40, increases the chance of the wearer to be attacked by enemies. When the wearer is attacked, increase the defense by an additional 24, 30, 36, 42, and 48% until the end of the wearer's turn. So I feel as though the top three that you're going to be looking for is Day 1 of My New Life, Moment of Victory, and This Is Me. The 4-star light cones are going to be the go-tos for sure. Now, there's two ways you could go about March 7th here, or at least from what I'm seeing. As you can see, we have the Knight of Purity Palace, which we talked about with, you know, the Fire Trailblazer. 2-piece increases defense by 18%. 4-piece increases the max defense absorbed by the wearer's shield by 20% and increases defense by 18% on the 5-piece. Now, I feel this one is going to be the go-to solely because of the fact that you have shields that you give off with March 7th, and those shields are going to be really, really good, especially on that Eidolon 6. Now, you could, if you want to do a damage build, you could do the Guard of Withering Snow. I don't suggest it because March 7th is not going to be a DPS. I don't think that's the go-to. But those are the two that I feel that would work really, really well in regards to that. I would definitely suggest Knight of Purity Palace over anything else because I feel like that's going to play into March 7th's strengths instead of her weaknesses. So overall, March 7th seems to be a decent character. I don't think she's going to be game-breaking, but I feel as though that she's going to be heavily underutilized because she's basically the Amber of Honkai Star Rail. But definitely think that she's at least worth a try, especially with the main defense scaling. I would not scale attack. I would solely focus on getting your defense and speed up so that you could constantly put your skills out there and gain energy. And guys, that's going to be it for today. Of course, let me know in the comments down below what you think about March 7th. Are you excited for Honkai Star Rail? I sure as hell am, and I would love to hear you guys' opinions on the game for sure. But yeah, guys, that's going to be it for today. Love you all to death. And as always, we will catch you guys in the next video. Please take care and be safe.